two. You buy it for cash flow and you buy it for depreciation on your taxes. And appreciation is the hopeful benefit, right? The bonus that you can't expect. But you can't expect cash flow if you buy well, and you can't expect to be able to depreciate on your taxes. But the argument for appreciation or inflation has never been stronger in the 20 plus years Julie and I have been in real estate. And this is something that everybody knows at this point. And really, it's going to just do nothing but make the market even hotter. And because there's going to be more money that's going to be rushing to invest in real estate. And if you think it's been a furiously fast, seller's market in the past really 24 months, just wait over the next 36 to 60 months. So you better be learning how to become a listing agent.
Well, and remember, the reason we're going into this deep dive is so that you guys stop thinking that you're going to wake up tomorrow and it's just going to be easier.
There is no real estate crash on the horizon. By the way, in case you guys have yet to request your free coaching call, I believe we have 16 free coaching spots left this week. Just text the word education to 47372. Text the word education to 47332. Text the word education to 47372. If you hear Julie and I are struggling a little bit, sounds like we have allergies. It's because here in Puerto Rico, we are under, what is it, Julie?
A Saharan dust warning.
A Saharan dust warning from the Saharan desert. So there's, Julie showed me a map. There's literally this big, massive cloud of Saharan dust blowing over from Africa that's halfway over all of Puerto Rico, and it's going to be
parked here.
It's just parked here, right? Yeah. So we are struggling definitely to keep our throats clear. That is for sure.
Strangely, our weather comes out of Africa.
Yeah, yes. We've had these omnipresent headaches for the past 2 or 3 days. Yeah, our weather comes out of Africa. Isn't that funny?
Strange. I didn't believe that the first time somebody told me that.
When we lived in Ohio, we had to worry about Alberta Clippers, these horrible cold fronts that come down to Canada. But now that we're in Puerto Rico, Saharan dust clouds.
Yes. Okay, so our next point is the coronavirus pandemic is a short-term component that's stacked upon the long-term trend that we've been talking about from our previous points. People want more space, more privacy, and now have the freedom to move markets. This is a whole demographic that probably would not have been moving but for the coronavirus pandemic. So that's another reason.
It's the largest migration trend since the Industrial Revolution, which a lot of people don't understand.
It's real.
In the Industrial Revolution, people were moving from the countryside to the city centers in order to basically have work. Now what's happening is people can have work and move back to the countryside, and that's what they're doing. There was a lot of people that were saying that was just a temporary trend because of coronavirus, but it's not just a temporary trend because of coronavirus. It's a permanent trend that essentially has made coronavirus made it happen really in such a way that businesses started realizing that they can have remote workers. And that's one of the reasons, frankly, that eXp Realty is going to continue to be, it's going to be the largest real estate brokerage in the world. I'd be shocked if that didn't happen, because everywhere globally, people are wanting to essentially move outside of these city centers, not just because of fear of the coronavirus or maybe even social unrest or things of that nature. It's because they want a different quality of life. I didn't say better, right? I said different. They've lived in cities. They've had to essentially endure the high costs of cities. In some cases, very high costs of cities. And now they're saying, you know what, if I can keep my high paid job and I can move to someplace like, Murphy, North Carolina and live in the mountains, I'm definitely going to do that and move the heck out of maybe, for example, Atlanta. And that's what people are doing. And that trend is going to continue. And if you're not aware of that trend, and if you're thinking that somehow like I was talking to someone on the Upper East Side of New York, and he was, his name's Greg, and he was kind of panicky about the values in the Upper East Side, and he asked our opinions. Do you think the trend of people moving back to the Upper East Side is going to, you think that's going to reverse back to people returning opposed to moving out? And the answer is no, it's not going to reverse, not anytime soon. There's too many headwinds right now to people moving back to the cities, and the coronavirus took what probably would have happened as a result of, essentially people being able to use broadband and work anywhere using like Starlink satellites and all the rest of it. Now, coronavirus made what would have naturally happened over the next maybe 10 or 15 years happen inside 18 months. I think normally or naturally there would have been a migration like happened in the past 18 months, but it would have taken